comes shine, that they should go out and go and prostitute. And those of them that have refused to accept at first, the skimpy clothes, they battered them, some you see them with iron bonds on them and so on and so forth. So when I had all this, I was taken aback. I never liked what happened to these children. And I said to my God-given self, I said, one day, if I'm in a position, I will help these children, because this is slavery in 21st century. So this is exactly what happened. It is better you profess good things with your mouth. And when my husband became the vice president in 1999, precisely, in May, then I remembered that when I was in Rome in 1986, I had a covenant with my God that I was going to, I will not use the word liberate, that I was going to help these ladies who are in bondage. So that was actually what inspired me, to start my NGO. Immediately my husband was sworn in May, and I called a conference or a workshop, in October of that year, and the workshop lasted for 3 days, and many people were there, the governor's wives, the chairman's wives, local government chairman's wives, and councillors, stakeholders, COS, So the hall was jam-packed, and at the end of the day, many parents complained, or, they said they have never heard the word trafficking, and that they never knew that human beings are being trafficked. So that was how, WordClef came to be.
14 years after you set up WordClef, how much would you say your organization has impacted in the fight against trafficking? How much have you?
You see, I will say WordClef had done much. You see, like when I was, when we were in the villa, when my husband was the vice president, I had traversed the length and breadth of Nigeria. I have spread the gospel of WordClef. I had gone to so many states, and I saw children in primary, secondary, tertiary institutions, because we want to catch them young. And we have WordClef partners in all the states, and I have coordinators in most of the states. And even the states that I was unable to get to, I have coordinators in all the states. And, I'm able to I have a rehabilitation center for which I rehabilitate the victims of trafficking now.
Trafficking in persons is said to be one of the most lucrative crimes in the world, and it has international dimensions. What's the best way to fight this menace?
You see, trafficking is a cartel. Trafficking is very lucrative, and many people had made thousands and millions of dollars and lira and pound sterling from trafficking. But you see, I don't know. We are very lucky in Nigeria, because when I started this fight, I will say it is God-ordained program. It is not just a trade that anybody can just come in and just cut abruptly like that. Because many bourgeois today in the world, they made their money through trafficking. Either trafficking of, because trafficking involves so many things. They trafficking for begging, trafficking for organ transplantation, trafficking for prostitution, trafficking for tourism. So with all these people, child labor, forced labor, and so on and so forth, people made so much money out of trafficking. So you see, because this, my own just came, and that is why I say it is God-ordained program, because I have never received any threat letter from any quota that what we are doing you should stop. If not, otherwise we take your life or whatever, and so on and so forth.
And that happens in some cases.
It does. But in my own case, I have never received any threat letter, because it is God-ordained program. So I will say, the journey so far, we are still waxing stronger, because I used to say to people that WordClef is going to outlive me. Because even when my husband was out of office, you know, we are still doing what we know.
I was going to ask you that question. In most cases, when people leave office, the NGOs that they set up tend to die with them. But WOTF has continued to work stronger. It has continued to exist. What would you say has contributed to this?
That is why I keep saying to people that is the grace of God. It is not my making, but the Almighty God's making. Because He brought me into this and He will never let me down. Just as I have told you that, you know, it is very lucrative, and you dare not go near it, because you know it is for the bourgeois. That is why even when my husband is out of office, Wycliffe is not going to die.
I have often wondered, what are the factors contributing to trafficking in persons, whether for forced labor or prostitution?
You see, there are so many things that contribute to trafficking. You know, some do it because they are ignorant. You know, that is why I said, if you are not educated, you know, people will just come and deceive you. They tell you there is better life out there. Even where you are educated, you know, the awareness has to be created. Because they will tell you, you have finished work, you have finished school for so many years, you are still languishing here, but if you go there, you go and pick the pound sterling on the floor and so on and so forth. But if the awareness is there, tell them that there is no better life out there, that it is all gnashing of teeth, that you have to sweat it out, that these people, they want just to throw you into the dungeon there because you have to use your bodies and so on and so forth. They will not go. There is no creation of awareness. And many of our ladies, because of greediness, you know, some of them are very greedy. They want to carry a bag and shoe to match. They want to be like the Joneses. So, you know, they don't mind. Like, you know, there is a state in Nigeria, because I don't want to stigmatize any state. You know, that is predominantly their work. Even a husband will send the wife there to go and prostitute and bring all the dollars and the lire. You know, even a woman who is in the husband's house, the husband can afford to send her there. So at times it is greediness, and at times it is poverty, and at times it is lack of, you know, awareness creation and lack of education. That is the main, you know, these are some of the main reasons why, you know, our children unknowingly, because you don't know where you are going, and, you know, there is nobody to inform you that if you go there, these are the things you are going to encounter there, so you just fall a victim.
We'll take a break now, and when we return, we'll be talking some more about trafficking in persons and child labor. Please stay with us.